Namaste everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna set up my yearly bullet journal. I'm sorry I'm late, but better late than never. So grab your coffee or even your colors and a book if you want to journal with me, and let's get started. Now let's talk about the supplies. You can literally just use anything and everything from the stationery. I'm using here Neora Bullet Journal. It is 180 GSM dot grid notebook. I will be using camel watercolors today, but you can literally use any medium you like, or even just drawing it out with a black pen works. Now I am going to make my name page doodle later, so do check out my shorts for that and subscribe to my channel. Now for yearly setup, I've decided on florals as they work really great all year round. Now I have just taken a dropper and I'll be making a page. I'll be adding a red and orange to the white and making this color beautiful subtle pink. Now I will be taking a square brush and I will be painting a light wash of color of this beautiful nude pink shade so that my 2023 lettering pops out. आप literally कोई भी कलर चूज कर सकते हैं, but it must be light and you do not want to rush it. आपको slowly करना है. मैं 2 coats करूँगी and मैंने उसे dry करने को रख दिया है. Once it's dry, I'm going to take a brown brush pen just for making the dots for a reference so that I know मेरा flower कहाँ पे जाएगा. Now I'll be starting with a nice mustard color. मैंने सबसे लार्जेस्ट फ्लावर के साथ स्टार्ट किया है. यू कैन सी कि मैं एकदम लूज एंड 1 petal एट अ टाइम फ्लावर बना रही हूँ विथ फ्यू स्ट्रोक्स. अलाउ दैट पेटल शेप टू इमर्ज एंड लीव इट अलोन. ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं है, सिर्फ पेटल जैसा लगना चाहिए बस. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग वी वॉन्ट. यू कैन रिफाइन इट लेटर, बट for the most part, it should be fast and free. Don't worry about the perfection and just trust the process. For the next flower, I have chosen this magenta pink and I'm doing tiny flowers here. Just couple of flecks here and there and it's done. Next up, we'll be moving to stems and leaves. I really love how this again the dark cool green looks. I've just added the dark green, a black and a slight blue hint. And मैं यहाँ पे messy से stems बना रही हूँ and leaves जैसे structures बना रही हूँ. As you can see, again you just want to go with the flow. Stem बनाना है पहले पतली सी डंडी and then you have to press a bit more so that leaves का structure आ जाएगा. Now जहाँ पे भी जगह मिले, you can add leaves, you can add bigger leaves or even smaller leaves. Just pick a size and try to be consistent. Now I'm going to add another leaf pattern with a lighter baby blue just so it all comes together nicely. Just tuck it in randomly. आप कहीं पे भी ये leaves लगा सकते हैं. As you can see कि it looks very pretty with green, yellow, pink and blue all together. Now I'm taking that brown brush pen again for a darker effect and मैं एक ब्राउन पेन लूँगी, उससे मैं थोड़े फ्लावर लाइक, लीफ लाइक डेलिकेट से स्ट्रक्चर्स लगा दूँगी so that it's also a mix of structures. It looks really put together after this. आप कहीं पे भी इनको प्लेस कर सकते हैं. Now it's optional if you want to shade or not. मैंने सिर्फ यही पेज पे किया है, बाकी सारे पेज पे I've skipped it. So you don't need to. Now I will be taking a golden acrylic paint. आपको ये कहीं पे भी मिल जाएगा. And उससे मैं lettering करूँगी of 2023. मैं यहाँ पे randomly लिख रही हूँ, but you definitely don't do it. Make a pencil sketch first for the consistency, but again it's like getting in the trance and just being flowy and just enjoying the process rather than perfection. Now moving to next page, I am going to add the same pattern in the bottom of this index page so that it looks consistent. To practice it on any paper so that you feel confident and free. It's not hard. The best thing about nature is that it's imperfectly perfect, and that's exactly what we are going for here. For the next times, I'm going to skip on this part of making the flowers. So don't worry, I'm not gonna bore you with the same flower making. I'm glad I didn't leave the index page empty. I really like how this page turned out. Now moving to the next spread. I'm going to do the same florals on the top and the bottom, and this page is going to be our year at a glance page. I'm going to write the complete calendar here for a reference. I actually don't write a lot here. I write in the monthly spreads more, so can be a little tedious sometimes, but it's always nice to have a reference. So we will definitely be having a yearly calendar here. Now I'm using the same painting colors everywhere because I want to be consistent, but you can literally use anything or just writing down the names with a black pen, as I said, works. आपको painting colors से ही सब कुछ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Now I am gonna write the months here. Now मैंने यहाँ पे dates fill कर दी है already because it was very risky task. मैंने calendar की reference ली है. I already messed up and I have just stuck the page and redid it. I have used the micron pen in the size 01 just for the reference. Next up, I will be writing goodbye 2022 and hello 2023 for a mindful end of one chapter and hopeful beginning of another. You can literally put your whole 2022 year at a glance here, your happy memories and everything you want, and pointers for the next year. I'm going to write here gains, losses and learnings of 2022, and for the next heading I have written how you want your 2023 to be, that is your hopes and your dreams with 2023. मैंने यहाँ पे less space दी है क्योंकि I'll be expanding more in the later spreads. Once it's dry, we'll be moving to our next spread. I'm planning to have a vision board here. For the vision board, I was thinking what would better represent the vision than the eye of the beholder. Yeah, a bit too poetic, but here I'm painting just outer corners of the eye, looking structures again, painting the skin, lighter inner corners and lower lashes. You can use 2 coats and make sure that you use a brush to fan out the unnecessary dry parts of the page. So here, getting a little fancy. I'll be making the lashes first with a pencil so that I have a reference. Then I'll be going in with a brown colored pen so that it's not very stark. You can use a black pen. It's up to you how you want your look to be. I'll be also making some wonky lashes so that sari ki sari lashes perfect na dikhe and it doesn't look artificial. Next up, I'll be erasing. I really love this eraser. It's from Tombow. It's the plastic eraser wali range and it literally doesn't disturb the background at all. Next up, I'll be making the upper lashes. We are gonna make the upper lashes thoda thick because we'll be adding some mascara to it. I'm adding just double layers of this brown color pen to make it look thick. Again, आपको एक ही डायरेक्शन में नहीं करने हैं, थोड़े थोड़े टेढ़े मेढ़े लैशेस बनाने हैं so that it looks like real and you don't have to think about perfection. आपको सिर्फ आई represent करनी है. You do not have to make it perfectly like a painter. You can just go with your heart and do it. Now I like my vision board contained in my journal so that I can look at it whenever I want and it is stuck unconsciously with me and stays wherever I go. Now after having the vision board, I will be having a goals page. I have divided into 4 main categories. I'll be applying the same peach shade for the background and little flowers and a brown pen. Flowers so that it looks delicate and on to the theme. Now my main 4 categories are physical/personal, next up finance/career, next up health, and next up for soul and other soul. So I will be breaking them down later in subcategories and then writing the details in the blue lines. If you want me to explain the goals page and if you want to see me setting up my vision board, then do let me know in the comment section below. Now I have drawn some symbols representing what my goals main categories are. Money, definitely finances, a namaste for the soul, and for mental peace, a heartbeat for your health. And next up, the small girl's doodle representing the personal shelf. Next up, I'll be placing just the lighter blue lines so that it doesn't pop out but it doesn't come in the way of when I'm writing. It just gives a perfect background. Next up, I'll be moving to bucket list. Now I'm writing with watercolors just to be consistent, but you can definitely skip on this part and just write it normally. I have been maybe a khatron ke khiladi here. Now from goals as a reference, we can now write down our bucket list. I have divided it up into categories as well, like learn new habits or friends and family, traveling and experience, and my big ideas representing the others. I wanted to include the taking things off my internal bucket list. That is why I have included the omit worthless section as well. I'll be drawing a square so that it is separated from this page, but yeah, it was required. Next up, I will be having a yearly tracker. You can see I have stuck to the same theme. Now you can track whatever you desire on this yearly tracker. I'm going to put 6 months only, as I don't know how much will this book last. Others I'll add later. Now as you can see, I've drawn the lines, light blue lines here, and I'll be now drawing the symbols of the things I want to track. I've added YouTube, Instagram, finance, weight, and I'll be leaving the blank spaces for the other things that come into my head later. The best part about this yearly tracker is that you can compare your progress. Like, how is your progress in that month, after doing what you did that month. Next up, I'll be writing the best reset. I had this space, so I wanted to utilize it. So this is a useful prompt for me, as there always comes a time where I need a push for clearing my head, and it's always nice if you have already written. When you're stuck, you just go blind, like you don't know what to do. So you can just come to this page and follow it. Here I'm gonna write the prompts like comfy meals and things to do, so that whenever I want to reset, I can just follow these and go for it. Next up, I'll be having a period tracker and a lunar tracker. I have light PCOD, so it's always nice to see and compare my period cycle and if my remedies or the way of life is affecting it or not. Next up, the lunar table. I have read this in an article about lunar effects on menstruation, so I wanted to check out that myself, and I'm also spiritual a bit, so I fast on a few days of lunar cycle, so it's always handy to have it on hand. For the moon phases, I'm drawing bigger circles representing the full moon and crosses for no moon days. Around it, I have represented ovals, the Ds, the thicker Cs, and then the Cs. For the moon phases, the complete circles, I've also added a bit white color just to represent the full moon. Next up, I wanted to have a wish list or watch list or read list for my content that I'm taking in. You can write the already watched or read or want to here. It can be nice little list for just anything. You can put it here. With that, we complete the setup. Now for the final flip through. I really loved how this cover page turned out. It is one of my favorites. Now I really like the flow of the whole setup. The year at a glance, bidding goodbyes, welcoming new year, and then vision with the eye. Like, I was not expecting the eye to look so good. I'm drawing it for the first time here, and it turned out really nice. Then next up, the goals based on the vision and the bucket list, and a lot of self-exploration and learnings and practical living. I really like the flow of it. I just hope that you got many new ideas from this video and it made you excited to set up your own new journal. If you redo any of these ideas, make sure to tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Also, tell me in comments what do you think about this year's setup. I will see you in my next video. Love you all for supporting me, and thanks for watching.